Good morning. Welcome to Research One. I am Sir Jelby, your virtual research teacher.
Welcome to another research topic entitled Developing Research Problem and Research Process. I am your research teacher, Mark Angelbert Bidalay, and you can follow me at Jelby Space PH. The preparation of the research study starts with the identification of the research problem, followed by the formulation of the research question. The research question that directs the investigation will be found in the presentation of a research report. The formulation of the research question is the product of a dynamic, iterative process. Researchers refine and concentrate the problem as they prepare the phases of the research project. Sources of research topic. The research problem sets out the means by which you have to answer the so what questions. The so what question refers to the research problem of the survival of the relevancy test, the consistency of the measurement method that provides repeatability and accuracy. Notice that answering the so what questions involves a dedication on your part, not only to prove that you have studied the material, but also to think about its meaning. People, places, and artifacts around you are a potential source of your study. The place where you live are also rich sources of your study. You will assess the tools that you have as well as their needs. Whenever or wherever there is a difference between needs and resources, a possible issue or subject of research occurs. Often, you will not be able to see a gap. It would be useful to speak to scientists, researchers, or teachers by meeting them at their workplaces. You can also surf the internet for potential research problems. Example of people as problem source are some medical doctors, educators, engineers, or scientists. Or you could look for a problem on a certain place, such as farm, school, library, or community. Things around you could also be a source of a problem: water, air, soil, or plants. The research problem. The research problem is at the heart of the study. It is a simple, definite assertion of the field of concern or investigation which is supported by evidence. It directs research questions and processes and offers a structure for interpreting the results of the research. Guidelines in selecting a research problem. First, significance. Your research issue is expected to have a positive effect on the field. The effect can be functional in the context of direct implementation of findings in the field, or conceptual, where work advances the field by filling the information gap. This is the reason why your panel always asks for the significance of your study. Timely. Your research problem should be relevant to current needs in the field and well-tailored to the current state or problems in your field. Evaluate the research center agenda and emphasis on themes. For example, most health and biology researchers now focus on the production of COVID-19 vaccine. In education, most scholars are conducting researches on the alternative delivery mode of teaching. Specific and clear. Your research problem should be clear enough to set the course of the study, raise the research questions, and define the required research method and define. These answer the questions, what do you really want to do? Researchable. I always tell my students that their research must be within their ability. Research problems are addressed by a scientific method. This means that the research capability or viability of the issue is more important than any of the above characteristics. Supported by literature. Your research problem should be applicable to the field and validated by a number of recent peer-reviewed field studies. Even if you define the problem on the basis of a suggestion from a journal article or dissertation, you will also need to perform a literature review to ensure that other researchers accept the problem and that research is needed to address the problem further. Novel. Your research problem should be exceptional and original. It should try to fix the gap in our awareness or application. A comprehensive analysis of the literature will help you decide if the issue has already been discussed with your specific sample and/or context. Guidelines in writing the title. 1. Generally, the title is formulated before the start of research. It may be revised or refined later if needed. Title must always contain the subject of the study, location, population, and period. In experimental research, title must have the cause and effect relationship between the variables. It must also be brief and concise as possible. 10 words is enough to write a good title and not more than 20 words. Avoid using the terms an analysis of, a study of, an investigation of, a comparative study of, and others. All these things are understood to have been done or to be done in a research project. If the title contains more than one line, it must be written like an inverted pyramid. Example: chronotherapeutic effect on vitamin A deficiency, musculus. The research process. First, problem identification. The problem identified by the researcher keeps the researcher focused during the entire research process. It is the foundation of all future research activities that he would conduct. Formulation of hypothesis. When a problem has been identified, the investigator continues to formulate a problem-related hypothesis. The hypothesis acts as a preliminary solution to the problem prior to any experiment. Review of related literature. A literature review is a systematic overview of previous studies on the subject. The review of related literature reviews academic journals, books, and other sources related to a specific field of study. Preparation of research design. The research design refers to the overall strategy that you choose to combine the various components of the study in a coherent and logical manner, ensuring that the research issue is effectively addressed. It constitutes a model for data collection, evaluation, and analysis. Actual experimentation. Actual experimentation involves the execution of a research work plan or design. Experiment is an operation that produces findings or data that, after processing and analysis, result in the solution of the research problem or produces more studies. Data analysis and interpretation. And organize and unprocessed data are complicated to look at and deal with. It is also difficult to summarize them in meaningful statements. The data collected is arranged into tables and graphs before being analyzed using a statistical method. This interpretation is a simplified explanation of the significance of the quantitative conclusion. Formulation of a conclusion. The aim of the conclusion is to help the reader understand why your study should matter to them after they have finished reading the paper. The conclusion is not just a description of your points or restatement of your research issue, but a synthesis of key points. Thank you so much. If you have questions, feel free to send me a message at JelbyPH.
That's all for this day. If you have any questions, follow me at the following. Thank you.